These are the 5 signs that you're a crappy college guitarist who needs to stop. I feel like I need to preface videos now by saying that if you enjoy playing music, whether or not you do any of the things that I say you shouldn't do in videos like this, then you should carry on doing it for the love of doing it. Don't let me take that away from you. But I'm still going to find you really annoying, and I'm still going to make videos about how annoying I find you. And it is okay to be a crappy college guitarist for a bit, because it's a phase, hopefully. And we've all been there. I've been there. Try not to get butthurt, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, on with the butthurt. These are the things that annoying, usually college student guitarists will do, and this is why the world thinks you're a git. Number 1, you make hipster music choices, but you're also a snob about it. It's fine to like obscure music, it's good even as a musician, but that doesn't mean you get to be condescending just because someone else enjoys music they didn't have to search for. When a normal person likes music, they try to get other people to listen to it and enjoy it communally, because that's what music's all about, and in some small but certainly measurable way, it will help that artist or band grow as well. If you're calling people out for liking simple music or whatever, then they're not going to want to have anything to do with you, much less enjoy the music that you like. So the band that you like is forever going to be associated amongst your social circle with you being a jerk. You can like whatever you want to like, just don't be a prick about it. Now, before you say that is not specific to guitarists, we are way more guilty of that than any other musician, or indeed non-musicians, and that is why it's on this list. Number 2, people don't call you by your name, they call you by some stupid nickname. Yeah, I did this one as well. Again, you'd imagine this wasn't specific to guitarists, but it totally is. Please trust me that when you get to your mid-20s, you're going to try and rebrand yourself with your actual name, and it's going to be difficult. Fair enough, you might not hang out with the same people you used to hang out with at college, but like, trying to swap out your Twitter handle and that kind of thing can be a huge pain in the ass. Practicalities aside, if you insist that people call you by something that is clearly not your actual name, or introduce yourself with a nickname, they're going to think you're a complete arsehole. That's just how it is, I'm afraid. And it is fine to have a stage name, sometimes smart if you get big and want to protect your anonymity, but that doesn't mean you have to introduce yourself as this other person at a party when you're clearly not on a stage. Idiot. Number 3, not the caged system. So this one is actually completely specific to playing guitar. Crappy college guitarists always seem to do this because it's an easy way to sound like you're playing well complex and edgy chords, but it's not. It's easy, it's cheap, and sometimes it sounds like complete crap. I call this the not the caged system because I get the impression that people who use this have read like the first couple lines of a tutorial about how to use the caged system, but completely misinterpreted it and just not bothered to check what they're doing. It basically involves moving open chords up and down the neck without compensating for open strings. For example, now this is a valid compositional technique, absolutely, and I'm fully in favour of trying new things and experimenting on instruments, and you can get some cool sounds. Now the way to tell whether or not you've got a crappy college guitarist is whether or not they know the names of the chords they're playing, or actually anything about what they're doing. For example, is that a D major with a 4 and a 2 but no 5? Or is it a C major chord which you've shifted up 2 frets? Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it? Number 4, you claim to not know any music theory, but you wear it like a badge of honour. It's probably not true either, because you probably spend most of your free time trying to wrap your head around the modes. Music theory, as I've said in other videos, and I will continue to say until I die, is one of the most liberating things about playing and listening to music. I still don't believe it should be referred to as a separate thing from music, because it's so integral and the two things rely on each other. I believe they are one thing and you shouldn't really refer to them separately. To not understand music theory is to not understand music, and to be proud of that tells people that you actually don't give a damn about the thing you claim to be your craft. But Jimi Hendrix didn't know any music theory. Jimi Hendrix absolutely bloody knew music theory, and you're a moron if you believe that he didn't. Some aspects of music theory are really hard, especially when taught poorly. The modes, for example, is really actually quite simple, and so is the circle of fifths, but the way they're taught makes me think that people don't actually want you to understand this thing, so they can lord it over you like, I don't know, like a librarian who hates people that read books. I'm really angry about this, aren't I? It's fine to admit that you don't know much music theory, completely fine. Don't try and get around the fact that you don't by saying it's on purpose or whatever. There are things that I'm trying to wrap my head around right at the moment that I don't know if I'll get anytime soon, and if and when I do work them out, there will be the next thing that I'm trying to work out. That's fine. There will always be something about music that you don't quite understand, and that's what will permanently make it entertaining. People aren't going to think that you're a genius because you can play reasonably well, but you claim to not know what you're doing. And they're not going to think that there's some kind of spirit flowing through your fingers, or that you're an alien or something. They're just going to think that you're an asshole. Number 5, our last point. Party guitar. If you're at a party and someone has an acoustic guitar, you will play it. And you will play non-party music, like Surfing with the Alien on a classical guitar. Ugh. You're going to have to come to terms with the fact that at a party, people aren't going to want to listen to you sweet pick and show off. They're going to want to listen to Ed Sheeran. And I'm really sorry because this is quite hard to hear, and I don't like saying this out loud, but that's always going to be the case as well, whether or not you're at a party. You've got to know your audience. Play what they want to hear, whether or not you feel it's worthy of your skill as a musician or whatever. That's how you become popular. And once people like you, then you can break out the crazy train, right? Play the long game. That's how to succeed. There we go. We made it to the end. Kind of proud of you, to be honest. And before anyone says anything, I am super aware that I'm going to sound like a condescending piece of crap when talking about stuff like this, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice for the greater good, and by the greater good I mean what Joe Public thinks of Guitarist, because we're not popular, actually, as much as we think we are. People kind of think we're assholes, and we've got to work together to fix that, or just leave rude comments, whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you don't hate me, then you should subscribe. If you want to ask questions, then you can do so in the comment section below. That's what it's for. But if you're unpleasant or rude or whatever, I'm just going to block you. So there. Take it easy. I will see you next Friday at 4 PM GMT. Toodaloo.